And then we kind of real car. We captured a signal with the RF and kind of said, well, if that's cheating a little bit, maybe we should have a signal. We can fill the radio and use it to capture the press on the market. And that's how we could find the code that we need. It makes them.
Let's see here. Well, I have no idea if anybody's going to join this or if there's any interest whatsoever, but I'm going to try this. That. Like that. That whole thing, that whole mess just screwed in there. Hey, look at that. That's a soldering iron. Look at that. So I'm a little disappointed across the board because I had crappy soldering station that I had before that worked. I couldn't find it before I left due to the travel nightmares that I was going through. I didn't really want to keep looking for everything. I'm sure if I look a little harder or find the box, I'm sure I'll find the box eventually, but I know I didn't sell it or throw it away as far as I know. And unless somebody broke into my shit in storage or in transit, then it's somewhere in my apartment. So, so I was like, oh, cool. It's a reason, an excuse for me to actually go buy that Hako digital station that I wanted, and I looked it up last night when I was half awake, and it was available at Fry's, which is like a 10-minute drive away. I have my car because I drove into Vegas this time, and so I was like, perfect. I'm gonna go get that sometime tomorrow, and I didn't pre-order it, so that was a bit of a mistake because I got to Fry's. They were cleaned out. They were cleaned out at a lot of solder stations. So I didn't want to buy another shitty Weller, to be honest, because I have one of those, and it's a soldering station. It would technically accomplish what I'm looking for, but it's not any better than the one I already have. So if I'm going to throw money at it, I might as well do something a little different. So I decided to pick up this guy. This is a Hako FX 901. I found it on the shelf nearby, and basically it is a cordless soldering iron that runs on AA's. So I'm going to give this guy a shot. I have no idea how effective it is. It has a bit of a broad tip, but if I can get through assembling the darknet badge, I will be a fairly happy camper. So let's get some. I did pack my solder. I do have my shitty Radio Shack one from back in the day, which is probably not any better, but I threw it in the bag because I happened to find it. I basically use that for car stereo stuff across the board. So, yeah, but it's a 15 watt, so it shouldn't be too hot for soldering this stuff, as I understand it. I did need new nippers, so I found or I know those in my common toolkit. I assume they're probably with the Haku, or no, not the Haku, the Weller station somewhere, but I did have leftover flux. The cool thing is I can use this. Oh yeah, that's pretty toasty. Okay, I'm gonna. Does it have settings? Oh, it's just on rock. Okay. I need the badge kit. Put the rest in here in the fridge. A few more parts this year. Okay. So here is our Darknet badge board for this year. I have an SD card slot again, which I probably didn't buy for the second time. Okay, so we've got a bunch of LEDs. Got lithium batteries. Very appreciate that. Everybody else is running on doubles. Let's see. Back panel cover for battery. And what we got here? Probably this is the radio, I believe. Oh, it's a very small screen with the oh shit. Yeah. Don't lay bags on the tip of your hot soldering iron. It seems like a bad idea. Okay, so we have a tiny OLED screen, and I saw a completed badge earlier, so it looks like that's going to go something like that. And we have a bigger OLED screen, or a bigger screen. This is actually a TOT screen. Tools for this. .8 FPI screens. So that's going to wind up like so. So yeah, that's kind of the layout there of the badge. I need to kind of split screen this because I need to go get the badge build instructions. Let's see, DC dark.net / badge sep index.html. Okay, here are the instructions for the darknet assembly badge. Need fine solder, got it. Oh, that's even finer. Look at that. I'm ahead of the game here. Okay, so inventory your kit. One Darknet Industries Conrad personal communicator circuit board. Okay, good. That's just on the, it's on some plastic. So we got that's 128 by 32 OLED, 1.8 color LCD module, 4-pin male header for LCD display. Let's see, we got, those are all my button switches, button switches, button switches, more button switches, button switches. There's the 4-pin male header. There's, okay, it's kind of long. Okay, more buttons. Oh, here's my nuts. I have a couple of LEDs. It's like a shitty add-on connector. I got my risers, my battery hold down. I got my screws, screwing, 4-pin. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 9. 2 of those. Battery connector. Looks like an oscillating clock. 4 screws, 4 risers, 3 nuts. Missing a nut. I can probably get away without it, but I don't want to. It might be lost to the carpet. It's pretty dark carpet. Well, I got enough to progress. Moving on. Okay. 1 8 megahertz crystal, 9 tactile switches, 1 LiPo battery, 1 JST battery connector, 1 acrylic backing, 2 tape battery, 2. They do that again? There's not. Yeah, they didn't give us sticky tape. Oops. Anyway. 120 Celsius, well, whatever. 9 tactile switch, 4 nylon nuts, 4 nylon screws. I have most of that. Surprised I'm already missing a nut. I'm not. Oh. Yep, I got it. Look at that. Superstar. Acrylic backing, tape battery 2. Yep. 1 dark net. Lanyard. Got it. Okay. Soldering tips. How to identify an LED. More soldering tips. More soldering tips. How to solder. Okay, so actually there's less in this kit than I thought. So I got a shitload of buttons. I have some risers, a couple of LEDs. The LEDs are taller than the buttons, so I generally don't want to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do all the buttons first. And then I will do the LEDs. The soldering iron's on. Let's see here. Okay. Orient this correctly because I fucked that up last year, which was awesome. Yes. Okay. Just like that. Just like that and that. These guys are cool because they're kind of springy, so they hold themselves in. Ow. And let's go up there. And one. Come on. Come on. So I may have over participated in Badgelife this year. I'm going to be honest. I kind of got access to some and I just kind of went wild. So next year's going to be a little lighter on that front, probably. Okay. So there's first two solder joints. Go ahead and Q-tip. So I don't like getting any flexy gooey stuff on my fingers. Go. A bit of that. Yeah, come on. There we go. There. Okay, so, oh, cool. Look at that. I'm practically a pro. I'm looking at, I can see annotation and things are making sense. So, okay. Thin this guy a little bit. Yeah, oh, hey. Look at that. Oh, it's not the easiest thing to manipulate here. Work better that one. It's a little better that one. Okay. Enough in there. Get a little either side. Yep. Hey, look at that. Okay. I think this has an orientation. Oops. Okay. So this is where it kind of sucks. I have a great answer for this. So yeah, that'll work. I did pack my holders thing, but it's great. Okay. Look at that. Not bad. Put some buttons on. Not put that somewhere that I'm inevitably bound to rest my arm. There we go. Okay. They're all buttons. There's all buttons. Oh, shit. Come on. Oh, fuck. I bent it. I bent it. That's not good. Little. Okay, so that's a good indicator to make sure I'm pressing straight down. Good lesson, right? Push straight down. Your break. Should really probably be using like tweezers for this, which is the thing I'm holding basically. But I'm a savage beast, and I will not be detained. Tools. Mongo crush. Mongo destroy. Okay. Let's see. Now we're talking. Okay, those are all in place. And the last button to place. Well, here we go. There, okay. So you got your 4-way directionals and your ABs. And that's your set button. Okay. SP Prog. Okay. So those are done. Actually, I can trim those. Should be good. Get them out of the way. So a little surface mount. Up there. I'll go on there. Look at that. Give them a little pass with the iron. Look, that much neater. Okay. Oof. Some of this is rather close. I need some flux here. It's a little big. Hey, TGS Gamer 360. I'm not exactly sure who you are. I assume I know you because, well, it's you're on my Facebook feed. It's about the only way we would have found out about this stream. So, yeah, there you go. But if I don't know you, cool, welcome. It's just me yammering to myself while I put down all the fun bits of this board project. So, for instance, it's a ESP WROOM32 this year. So they have more memory for activities and information, stuff like that. And so it's supposed to be even better this year. I wanted to get this out of the way before I go to other stuff, which I definitely need to do. I haven't even made it to a panel today yet. I seriously been just running between stuff, collecting shit and getting breakfast and dealing with purchase stuff, which is special because I am buying a car upon my departure from Defcon this year. So I brought my Volt. That's going to get traded in. I will be buying a 2011 BMW M3 from Phoenix. So I'm going to be driving from Las Vegas straight to Phoenix, trading cars with the purchaser. And then I will be coming back to LA. So that's a bit of excitement, but unfortunately, when I moved from Minnesota, I now regret not changing my bank because I'm banking with a credit union, which I like. They're very nice people. They're very good they're very, very good at customer service. I appreciate that, but they're very behind technologically. So unfortunately, this has left me some difficulties in trying to remotely arrange funds for the purchase of my car. So I have been dicking with that for the better part of yesterday and today, which is disappointing. I should have been doing other more fun Defcon-y stuff. I did miss some talks I wanted to go to. And then just frankly, exhaustion that I had remaining from getting stuck in San Francisco on Monday. I was pretty much, so Thursday, tried to sleep in, but couldn't because I had to go get my badge because LineCon is a thing. If you don't get there early, you might not get the cool digital badge. Now, that being said, I don't think that was actually an issue. There's a lot of digital badges. There's plenty to go around. But the other side of it is that the swag line opens at the same time. So if you want the good t-shirt or the good hoodie, or in my case, the messenger bag and the shirts, you best damn get there soon. Because if you don't, you will absolutely not get that inventory. Because basically everybody goes straight from picking up their badge to picking up their branded swag. So yeah, that was, so I got that done. I got my swag done. I went and got some chow, and then I kind of remember what I did. It wasn't, I kind of wandered around. I think I got some more supplies over at CVS or something, but it wasn't oh no, that was when I went and started dealing with car stuff again. So, I had the wire transfer sorted, which didn't happen. So they're actually overnighting a fucking check, which is super technology here. It's great. Oh, I didn't flux these. That's why it's flowing like shit. That's why it's flowing like shit. Rub my ball off. Oh, something buzzed. Insatiable is on Netflix. I don't fucking know. So yeah, that was kind of my day yesterday, and then I went and got some dinner. Pretty normal stuff. Went to the Defcon 101 panel, which is a lot of fun. And then, or no, I got dinner after DC 101, and then was just frankly really fucking tired. So I just I wanted to just chill. I was totally in the hotel room, half asleep, when I got the old alert signal that Mr. Robot Badge had another sale going. So I hurled myself out of bed and limped down. Oh, I did record a podcast. See, that took an hour on my day too. So I recorded an episode of Pepcac with Thomas using my cell phone. So I'm sure the audio is just great quality, but hey, what it is. So yeah, Pepcac dinner, or Pepcac DC 101 dinner, and then attempted sleep before Mr. Robot Badge managed to get me out of bed to go down and buy a badge. So yeah, that's pretty much my night. I had a couple of beers at Yard House, which was fucking ridiculously expensive. It was like $30 for a plate of cheese curds and a couple of beers. So that's why I went to Total Wine while I was picking up the soldering iron, because I learned that Fry's is right next to Total Wine. So some craft brews for around the room. They're flowing okay. I think they're going to be functional. They're not as through and through as I'd like, but there we go. And that one's got to get done on this side. I'm doing bad. Oh, fuck, I forgot to flux again. I'm getting ahead of myself talking. It's not the best. So there's actually 4 people watching, I guess, now. So, hey, humans who are watching me kind of fuck this up a little bit. This is not the right tool for the job at all. I'll be the first to admit that. But I did think that a cordless soldering iron could come in handy in the future, specifically working on car stuff and various reasons. So if I had to buy a soldering iron that was better than my shitty Radio Shack one from a million years ago, this was probably the best sacrifice, because if it came down to it, I could try to go over to the hardware hacking village again and weasel my way into a soldering iron. I shouldn't say weasel my way into there. They are available. Well, available is a bit of a stretch nomenclature. They are there. They are very populated, and I am not into bugging people or waiting in line for that long to try to build this thing. So fuck it. I said I just go buy. I wanted, like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, which no one was watching for, I wanted to buy a new Hako FX series digital one. I was going to drop a hundo on that guy and finally get a nice soldering station. And I checked the inventory at Fry's, and it was available last night, and it was not available today. So the Fry's got cleaned out. So unfortunately, I missed out on that. And my original soldering iron was unlocatable this morning. Okay, there we go. So if anybody is watching, wants to drop a line, questions, anything like that, happy to answer. I am watching the YouTube chat. It's open in the window here, so I'm happy to answer anything that pops up. I'm getting some Discord pops as well. Various party activities and such that I do want to try to go to, but man, I am just functionally not great on sleep right now. I want to, but this has definitely not been my most successful Defcon. Last year I did better at it. Whatever. So that one's fluxed. That one got done. That one got done. I didn't trim it though. Miss my other nippers too. Those were better. I kind of cheaped out. Go. Go. Nice. Okay. I cheated that a little bit. I'm going to let it feed or two in from this side as well. It should flow from bottom to top, but we're working with it alkaline. Did I attend Black Hat? No. So I go to Defcon on my own dime. I can't afford to do Black Hat as well. I've spent way too much goddamn money already on incredibly stupid things here at Defcon. So Black Hat would love to go. No money though for that. So I am. So I rolled into town on technically Thursday. So I drove in. My flight got so annihilated coming back from a business trip to Detroit where I had some connections. So first off, United sucks. Don't fly them. If you have an option, fly someone else. This is why I shouldn't put them all in. Anyway, so avoid United. I was supposed to have gotten back from that business trip late Tuesday. So I would have been done and back Tuesday night, sleep in on Wednesday morning, go through, pack up all my stuff, find my actual soldering station, etc., and all my boxes, and then have a lovely afternoon drive into Vegas, sit down, have a nice dinner, various things that are leisurely and in line with having a vacation, regardless of DEFCON or not. So a bit of a recharge day before going into DEFCON. That didn't happen. So I wound up stuck in SFO on Monday or on Tuesday night. I did get a hotel room paid by United because they have to because of travelers' rights and things like that. I'm sure if they didn't have to, they wouldn't. So wound up sleeping there, got up early for my next flight out the morning of, and get to the gate 20 minutes before or about 10 minutes before it starts to board, and they cancel the flight. They completely just cancel the flight. So now there's about 100 people who were in the pool, and they canceled the flight for mechanical, which means they broke the fucking plane. It's not like, oh, there's weather. Woo. I get it. Like weather, I get. Weather's, quote unquote, act of God. So that's a bit of a different priority. But when you fuck up the plane, you should get another plane. It's kind of your fault. So they cancel it, which immediately dumps 100 people who were all trying to get on the same plane as me and get back down the coast to LAX into the system, the system of finding a new flight back that day. So absolutely flooded. Other flights, most flights booked up immediately. I managed to get on what should have been a 1:30 flight, and they did not. That flight got delayed a lot. So that flight got delayed all the way until 4:30. So 4:30 comes around, and I got on the plane and got back about 5:30, and then it is about an hour and 15 from LAX to my apartment, despite only being like 12 miles. So I needed to go back, get back to LAX, get to my apartment. It was about 7:30 before I got home, and I think I got on the road, about 9:00 p.m., and then drove pretty much straight for 4 hours. No sightseeing, no comfortable drive, nothing like that. I just blitzed out for 4 hours straight. So that kind of put me behind the gun. And then I knew I had to wake up early the next morning, Wednesday morning, to get in the line for my badge. So that's kind of why I'm historically been a wee sleep deprived this weekend. One night's not great for catch up. Mike, you were nice, but you want to go to Defcon one day, but wife, kids, and travel seems unlikely. Understandable. I will tell you though that if you're still watching, I've seen a few people drop so far. There is a kids section here. Actually, it's called Roots, ROOTZ, and it's all for teaching children and getting them into InfoSec. So if the kids have any information or interest in that, that could be a way in. Plus, it's still Vegas, which means there's just an absolute shit ton of stuff for kids to do around here. I'm looking out at a pool. There's all kinds of attractions and theme stuff. So Vegas I won't say it isn't a seedy place. I mean, it's basically an obelisk of hedonism in the middle of the desert, but there you go. So try to get a family vacation and then ditch your family, I think is what I'm trying to get to here. Okay, so I think I got all my buttons in. My resets, my programs, and then my left, right, AB. One is actually called Fire One. I like that. Okay, so what is the system? So I think I'm going to be getting into headers, jumpers, power connector, and assembling the displays, which means it's probably time to go back and do the LEDs. Let's see here. Recap a little on the build situation. Sounds cool. I gotta go, but have fun. See ya. So, well, thanks for dropping in, Mike Scott. Let's see here. Identifying the direction of your LEDs. Okay. Shitty add-on connector. It's at the top right corner. And then we have longer goes in the right, shorter goes in the left. Perfect. Come on. There we go. And shove that guy in there. We bend it out. Hold it in place. Switch that back on. Hip back flips. Let's see if I can kind of finagle holding this just a little bit. I think it'll work. Okay. There. Use my foam block of justice. It's probably not going to be the straightest thing I've ever built or soldered, but there you go. Come on. And listen to that flux sizzle. So I don't even know how active I'm going to be with Darknet. I really want to, but there's so much else to do here. But what I do like about this is it's a really fun kit. It's how I kind of got started with soldering last year, so I really wanted to kind of keep at it. So I debated. It's actually one of the using some temp here. Might be killing the batteries. I'll let that sit and warm up a little longer. Okay, that came together pretty well actually. But that solder joint looks like ass. So. Okay. I'm going to assume this one goes the same direction, so sharp on the left. There's supposed to be nomenclature on here, I thought, that indicates, hey, this one's the positive, but I'm not really seeing it. Yeah, I'm kind of bummed because I threw a bunch of shirts and shit in that were not even the right shirts. Like I bought shirts. I bought a shirt just for Defcon. I bought a Lonely Hackers Club shirt and forgot it at home. And it's a fun shirt. It's specifically for this con and everything, and I fucking left it on the yeah, there we go. Now we're at temperature better. Come on. So I left it on the nightstand. I don't know. Moving sucks. All parts of moving are shit. So that plus travel didn't help my situation any. So that's pretty good. Oh, that's right. I was going to clean that one up. Now that I have heat. That's better. I would play some music right now, but I think that gets me copyright striked or something, so I'm kind of hesitant to do that. So silence and random yammering it is. I wonder what the talk is. I do have the Defcon.
So one to go forward so that we could be in our funding. It's the right. This is one of the biggest problems that we're essentially going into. We had no idea how organizing if this was possible. We were being coached by
bridging, right?
And other nonprofits, and it's like
no, it's not bridging. Okay. That's fine. Man, I can just hear my fucking laptop throttling doing this. It's fine. funny.
The trick that we learned is that don't make $50,000 in your operating budget like you're just doing, and that qualifies you for 1022. The 1022 is what you use to apply for finance through the IRS. And make sure you do that like within the first year of funding. So the 1023 easy not only made it, it was $275 compared to the normal 1023 process is $850. We didn't need a CPA, we didn't need a lawyer, and if you can see by the state's
Talking about making a nonprofit, that's kind of interesting.
for some reason, the IRS didn't actually tell us that online. So, but you got it.
Okay.
So
where are we at? I have LEDs. I have all my button switches.
One of our goals as organization that wants to support apprenticeship is to try and make sure that our students in general.
Added the 8 megahertz crystal. Add the OLED, which is driven from the ESP32, which is that cute little guy. After soldering,
another small
actually, I flux this before I put the pins through, because that's a smart way to do it if I remember right. Only one way to install this, so you can't fuck it up, which is good of them. And we'll keep the heat on the side away from the IC.
So, as you can see here, this is one of the timeline and how much time to if we had known that the IRS process was going to be so we have done that sooner and probably could have done it by July. But yeah, so like the bottom line is something that you can do. It's not that hard. You didn't need to CPA, you didn't need a lawyer. You have it anyway because we were fortunate and our network, our friends and family supported us, but it's actually not easier to So we turned on our exit relays in July 2017.
Oh, it's a core discussion. That's very cool.
We originally first used our IP based on our we just run it as a middle relay and just really got our own IP stuff. So it was one day where our ISP emailed us and said, hey, we're going to start charging you $1 and to stuff. So thankfully, Aaron had already used their IP stuff. But it's just a lot easier starting out if you start at no relay and then once you get our of course, so in this year process, we translated 3.5 petabytes of data, and we received roughly 3,100 unique abuse complaints. 99% of these abuse complaints were automated. We noticed, but nonetheless, most of them also don't require any kind of response, but we respond anyway to be proactive in case something were to escalate.
Okay, that's on. And they're nipped. And now we started the JSC connector for the battery. Woo! So Memo Onion creatively develops a strongly platform again, but
we reached out to Marsha Hoffman at Guys Law to help us create some Google FAQs. They're also really interesting. If you're operating like here in the United States, we have two versions of the legal FAQ. One of them you would give to your ISP. The ISP will use
I have a power connector. Okay. So, power connector soldered. I need to nip it. Nip it good. That's a different song.
Audit our device, make sure that we don't log any network information.
Okay. The LCD distributed by the STM is attached to the board using female headers. This gives clearance for, as well as allows for removing the display from the installation of the programmable LEDs. Start by cutting the provided female header in for the 8-pin side of the display. When cutting the female headers, you always have one sacrificial pin which is lost to cut. It's not possible to cut between 2 pins as you can with male headers. So count out 8 pins and cut on the 9th pin. That's good information. So header 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
We don't have these headers. We can't identify headers. Don't really have authority to do that before, but we have to have policy just compliant with the
Trimming cleanup there. Hey, look at that.
So, also the past year, we're seeing this is just one example. Both of them were from.
And I assume that goes there. Yeah, cut that. Here's a picture. Solder that shit in. Oh, what do we got here?
On the website, and there's a whole bunch of other things.
Okay, so I cut that one. Oh, and then we need a 4-pin. So
it was really scary at first, but it doesn't that way. Now it's kind of living in practice. So basically, like, some takeaways: don't run an extra route from your home. Obviously, Fortnite does a good job educating people about this. The reason why you don't want that is because you don't want to be you don't want law enforcement and keeping your branch here just because someone did something really malicious. So put it in a data center and ideally own your own IP script, like your own V6 and V4 address codes. And that way you can, instead of being at the part of the law enforcement where they're coming to the door and you site, they come, they send you an email and they're civil and they're like, hey, you have this IP address, you need some user data, and you can just reply.
So to put it there to make sure they're square. Yeah. There's something I have that's roughly the right size to balance this.
Again, a lawyer isn't able to do something. At first, we can have our general counsel call and talk to them to understand the process, but it's actually to the point where we're just going to email them.
I keep turning that soldering iron on. I might be slowing on the chatter a little bit because the discussion is very interesting. He is talking about setting up the legalities and such of setting up Tor exit nodes. that's interesting. You just said that there is a whole network of attorneys that are basically around the free speech of the Tor network that are kind of operate pro bono if somebody gets in trouble for operating a Tor exit node. But the big word is don't do it from your home.
We bought our own hardware, we use low power platform that has fiber.
Oh, I turned it on. Yay, brain.
Because the core network is roughly 90% Debian, sometimes you the PSC platform, sometimes you find PSC because it's their Java security, which we can also develop on the core network. This is an outstanding project. If you are interested in support that, if you're an operator using PSC or something that is using Debian.
By the way, this is Syntax Imperial Peanut Butter Stout, which bit of double entendre for Defcon.
And the fiber drop, and then we have connectivity and scale innovation. So internet change points are really cool. They provide direct access to the whole server. And what I mean by here is someone that can connect. And this is really interesting for X operating because instead of that for X traffic, they work delegating the core traffic from the middle relay to exit, and then it's going out to the internet from that exit. It is ideal, I think, in that traffic that you're exiting to the final destination has as little hops as possible. And what I mean by hop is some other router or switch on the internet that is owned by some unknown company, and every one that is merchant is an opportunity for sale. So here it's really awesome. I think for core network, not just because of latency and innovation, like I think our advocate latency for our users is 0.5 milliseconds, so it's really quick. So that also helps user experience. But mainly it's
Hey, look at that. Those are squared up nicely. Okay, let's finish working through these pins. Still square. Okay. Doing the first and last pins on these headers. You can see those headers right there. I love that I come all the way to Vegas to buy some electronics and solder them. Like that's my vacation. Other people out clubbing and all that. Here I am in my hotel room with a beer, listening to a man talk about Tor networks and soldering headers onto a board.
Awesome geolocation. So that meaning is proximity to it's proximity to a certain provider. There's like 120 about IP in the United States. So there's quite a selection, and most of them are in dense areas. So not a lot of choice, but there's two things that you can so
That's one end.
So provider like Amazon, Content Optimize, like good providers, places that have traffic will go on the internet. The more the better, so that there's more peers that you're accessing types of coverage. And then of course cost. Most of the ISPs that we've seen are for profit and pretty expensive. Ours, we pay $3,000 for 10 report. It's a one-time cost, which is our current units, which is awesome. So not many are like that. This was a recent article about the biggest, one of the biggest ISPs in the world.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of
Those are lovely. Look at that. Nice and square.
How that might be for network. Personally, I would try to avoid active government surveillance. Also part of finance. So best to avoid that if possible. So challenges for client strategy. Obviously, if there are other active surveillance, that's not ideal. There's lots of data centers without ICs, like the 70% and 20 roughly. They're large ICs, so Comcast, NC, whatever. Because they're profit driven, they tend to have this security policy. They're not security anyway. They're only going to charge money, which is not good for and then content providers with no parent policy. So some providers just refuse to give because it makes sense, which is also reflected because you need to get sent kind of around in some other way and still run through some other way.
Okay, look at that. It's perfect. I'm assuming I'm going to have to add in header to it. The way that the core network authority is currently working is that the core traffic largely bounces back and forth between west and west. So there's a whole lot of traffic that crosses the Atlantic Ocean. This we have a working theory where there could be some more strategic decisions to make in order to replace more routers, especially exit routers. One of them is replacing ISPs because of the early termination and the properties there. Another is because they're typically close to undersea cables. They're getting so see that traffic. Let's see here. So I got the headers on. What's next? Those are all secured and square. Yeah, it's talking about doing those next. So it's illustrating just to do them loose against the board, but I'm going to put them in place. And then I'm going to put the board in place. So that way I know my headers, my pin headers are lovingly secured. Flux there. I'm just going to do a little bit, tip on the first and the last, so that, there we go. Okay. And now that they're secured, okay, now I can come back and finish. There's some underserved areas that might built, this is Puerto Rico, but it's basically to compete with the profit-driven ISPs that are also generally surveillance friendly. So it's about creating two spaces on the internet, from the back end of the internet. So leave those at full height because it looks like the factory did that on the other end. It's coming together. I could probably boot it at this point. What is this? Okay. This year's badge has two shitty add-on headers, which are these little 4-pin square connectors that were launched just after last year, which was kind of funny. Standard Brian Benchoff in the badge maker community slaved over, taking at least 3 minutes in MS Paint to well document everything we need to know about making your own add-ons. We opted to hedge our bets as to how this is interpreted, giving you a normal SAO connector on the right and a mirrored SAO connector on the left. Our own SAO. Bruce sent you a message. Let's see. I really don't like that cordless soldering iron. It burns up batteries really fast and doesn't get very hot. Paul, it's doing its job right now. So I haven't run out of the 4 AA's that I put in the initial, but it is just not working terribly. So I'm going to continue with this. Let's see here. So we opted to hedge our bets here on how this is interpreted and give you a normal SAO connector on the right and a mirrored SAO connector on the left. So our own SAO, the eggplant SAO, uses the connector on the left, which means technically it's wrong, but whatever, it's a shitty standard. However, to try and keep your add-ons from falling onto the ground, you'll want to keep in mind how female headers are constructed. This is the blade that can contact male pins in the header. There's more play side to side than with the blade. Soldering the connectors in so the blades are vertically aligned should make the SAOs slightly more secure, although you will still want to be mindful that your SAOs do not get lost. Okay, good to know. So the recommendation is, so this is the 4-pin header here. It's that little guy. If you can see, it's that they orient pins. So it's like that. So you want to orient those so they kind of clamp down on a vertical style instead of a horizontal one. So shitty add-on connector 1. Go ahead. Do that. So there's a lot of stuff that's running around on the shitty add-ons category right now. So it's kind of fun. There's a lot of people making like little boards, a lot of blinky basic sort of stuff, but there's some crazier stuff. For instance, the Mr. Robot badge guys throw in some interesting stuff with their shitty add-on options, and one of them is like a Wi-Fi deauthor, and one is a few different things. So it's kind of it's open standard, obviously. So there's kind of some interesting stuff that's coming out of this. A lot of entertaining jokes, lots of and then, to make it even better, the particular one I mentioned, the deauthor, for instance, is Dick Butt, and he's a little annoying. It's great because he's making these things. He's doing good things like giving them away and being really cool about it, and then immediately finding like shit that he gave away up on eBay for like $30. So I have no intention at this point of selling anything, or at least not selling anything during the con. I might have a bit of buyer's remorse later of like, wow, I spent way too much fucking money on electronic blinky things, which I have for sure. I might want some of that back in the future, but hey, here we are. It's fun. So that's warming up. Man, those batteries are toasty. So. Throw out a recommendation. It's stupid, but these are like the best bang for the buck batteries I found. Somebody did some testing online. They're IKEA batteries, and they're very good at being very, very cheap and effective. So having good lifespan and output. So still not up to temp on that yet. Okay. It's on. So additionally, Paul, on the soldering iron, I can't complain at the price point of $30 for an electric cordless soldering iron. AA batteries aren't too bad, so I opted for that over butane because for some reason certain things like open flames don't go great in certain areas. So I figured electrical was an electrical soldering iron was a better option for the long run. And it's not too bad size-wise and stuff, so I'm it's doing the job. I'm sure, but a nicer station like I wanted. My dream of getting a Hako Digital would have yielded a better soldering results, or at least easier soldering results. But here we are, and everything is going together. So I can't say that it's great until I try to fire this fucking thing up, see if it actually works. So that's a thing. I'll have to try to find my shitty add-on later, but the shitty add-on I received with my purchase of my Mr. Robot badge was not the sweet dick butt de-author that I wanted. It was a POG, and I think the POG is actually the one that doesn't do anything. So kind of, if I had to get one that didn't do anything, I would have loved it. Literally, it just says thoughts and prayers. It's a board that solders in, and all it says is thoughts and prayers, because they don't do anything. So yeah, double that joke. It's great. Come on. Yay, background music. Okay. So that's one SAO. I'll clean it up in a minute when I do the other one. Having too pressure on it. My soldering hand. So unfortunately, I have the same goals as basically everyone else at this convention of trying to go to stuff that's not necessarily available online. So things like Sky Talks, which I would love to go to a bunch. The line is literally 2 floors. It's down and around parts of Flamingo. So yeah, I'm gonna go to at least one of them. I swear to Christ. Yeah, I don't know how well that's gonna work. So. Okay. Those are both pretty square on the board, so you can see the shitty add-on connector. That's those 4x4 connectors at the top there. Yeah, those are both fine. A little nib in here. I'm probably using too much solder and all that sort of stuff. Still consider myself very much a novice at this. So, eat me, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to. But hey, advice is welcome on how I could not do that, especially using a lovely AA powered soldering iron. But yeah, just want to give me shit, get bent, whatever. I don't really care. I grew up internet. I'm used to bullshit. Let's still let that warm up again. Okay, where are we at here? Install the standoffs. Okay. So we're standing off this way across the board. Okay, so put a nut on that guy. Using the provided 3mm nuts and standoffs. Install. So this board, this little badge that I'm putting together here is part of what's called Darknet. It's actually a game based on a book series that I haven't read yet. I thought about getting the book on tape for my drives here, but that didn't happen. But anyway, so, but it's basically an online game. Everybody's welcome to play. It's dcdark.net. Same place I went to get the badge instructions, which are available online. Go back to the beginning of my video if you want to see the link for those. But the whole assembly process is outlined there. And they basically made assembling the badge part of the game. It helps keep the cost down, I'm sure. But so basically, it kind of starts off with some basic stuff of it's just basically like little hacker challenges that you have to feed back into this text-based interface. Your results, your success rates, etc. So it's at least last year when I was playing, I didn't get much further than the initial stuff because I was using a Chromebook, so I was very limited in what I had access to tech-wise. So accomplishing some of the tasks were difficult to impossible. This year I brought a burner laptop that's running Kali, which I have no idea how to use, which is becoming a problem on its own. I might spend some time later and refill it with Windows because I at least know Windows. I know it's not as secure or functional in this sort of stuff, but I know how to use it. So don't judge me. Anyway, so I could at least get it on the Wi-Fi, which is currently the problem I'm having with Defcon Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So it's totally burner. I have no personal information on it whatsoever. I have a burner account it's attached to that I never log into from any other device. So that's the goal of that. But anyway, so it basically gives you a bunch of stuff. So the initial stuff was like setting up the Tor connection, learning how to use initial configuration, getting your badge together, and then connecting your badge to other users. So in this case, these badges, or at least last year, I believe the badges were 900 megahertz Zigbee radios that were attached to them, and you had to solder on, which I fucked up, which is why I didn't have much success last year playing Darknet, because I didn't figure that out until I got home. But anyway, so it's just a bunch of games and little challenges and stuff, so there's points. And historically, the last couple of years, the people who have finished Darknet or gotten the most points while at Defcon received a black badge, which is pretty cool. So, acrylic plate, you should have a sticker. I don't have a sticker. I'm going to have to probably go to their booth and get a new, get a replacement sticky pad, and probably ask some questions about the addressable RGB LEDs, because that would be kind of cool if I could get some of those. Okay, plug it in. Oh, boots up. Hey, look at that. I built a thing, and it does things. So I'm gonna switch it off here. I'm gonna kind of just tuck this in place. And oh, I've been sent a message. You got a co-drive for Nats yet? I don't imagine Steve's actually watching this stream, but the answer is that no, I don't have a co-drive for Nats yet. What the fuck? How does this work? Okay, so I have I put the pegs in the wrong place. That's why that doesn't work. Okay. That makes a lot more sense now. Let's see here. Relocate the plastic pegs to their correct locations. Wow, this super generic Alterna rock is super great. I'm sure it's just stream friendly, blah, 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 but it's really not jiving with my head great. So, okay. That shit. Okay. Get that panel on. Let's see here. I need a screwdriver. I need to go to my tool bag. Yes, I brought a tool bag. Come to my gifted / abandoned iFixit kit. Thank you, Thomas. I think I'm going to carry this one with me for the rest of the convention. Be a very small kit, very handy though. Ooh, I need that end. There we go. Screw in these screws. So you're supposed to pull the paper backing off this, but I actually kind of like it with the paper backing on. I think it gives it a little bit more readable definition. So I'm going to leave it on because it's my fucking badge and I'll do what I want with it. Okay. Everything is effectively assembled. That battery needs to get taped down, but that's a thing that will come once I figure out how to get some tape. I'm going to pull the glorious things off of it here. And let's go ahead. Bring the computer closer. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Where's the switch? I know there's a switch. I've used the switch repeatedly. How am I losing? How did I lose a switch? Boy, this is great to do on a live stream. There it is. Okay, fired up. Tits, yeah. So these are the different hold-ons. Hold-ons being kind of like clubs or groups and such here. So let's see. Up or down works. Up works. Ooh, oh, that's not great. I lost the screen. I still have power on the lower one. Oh, okay. So I think I have something at one of the headers might be a little loose. Also, I have this fucking like a little piece of skin. It's just driving me insane. Anyway. Okay, so up, down, left, and right both work. I think I need to reflow that or something. That's gonna be a problem. And come on, just get through this, and I'll save it. Save successful. 3D. I'm going to show some of my secret keys. Oh, this is interesting. Apparently, sickness is part of this game this year because I'm going to get avian flu, measles, tetanus, polio, plague, toxoplasmosis, chlamydia, and herpes. I'm sure that's reversed for you guys, but kind of interesting. Scan for NPCs. I'm getting because I'd be looking for a place to sleep. Talk to Mr. Ashby, Mr. Steve in a minute or two there. So there we go. Wi-Fi. Test batch. Up. Yep. Down. Left. Right. Mid. Fire. Okay, so all my buttons work, which I pretty much hold, left, fire, and down for LED. Okay. So this is a pretty cool little piece of kit, I think. And it's assembled. So with that, actually, I'm going to go ahead and take a swing at what's up with this display before I declare this done. So I was going to shut the stream off, or at least my recording, but I'm going to wait. I'll say I'm impressed. The Wi-Fi here at the link is giving me, it's rated at 20 megabits squared. I'm getting 18 pretty consistently on a speed test, so I'm not upset about that at all. The $15 a day or whatever it's costing me for 2 devices, a little upset about that, but it's part of my resort fee, you know. Thanks, dick bags. Okay, take this off because lipo and heat doesn't play well with each other. That's still warm. I'm just going to go through and add some more solder to any joint that could have been affected by that. I'm starting to wonder where all this music is coming from. It's a very loud soundtrack coming from nearby. I'm on the 15th fucking floor, so I don't know what the hell is generating it. Okay, so that's better. Well, at least there's more. I assume, though, that I think that's easy to remove, which is appreciated. So VCC and ground are the top two in that, which I just reinforced. So that's probably going to help that. Because it was the solder around, I guess what would be VCC was a little sketchy. I'm going to give it a little, just a wee bit more there actually. Okay, put that back on. Make sure all pins are lined up. Get it some power. Nice. Flip her back on. OLED in. Hold on tits. Whoa. I love that it boots with tits first. That just makes it. Okay. I think. Yeah, I just had a bad solder joint. So I fix with solder. I'm going to finish my beer here. Nobody's really chatting with me. Turn off my solder. Ooh, almost dropped the soldering iron onto the laptop. That could have had a rather poor result. I'm going to warm that back up and clean that off, though. That's gross. Let's check the face balls and see if anybody to say about my efforts. Oh, cool. Randy Post is going to nationals. Anyway. Pretty sure that's going to disintegrate over time. Anyway, welcome to Darknet 7. Oh, that's ESP reset. Okay, so that's, oh, that resets that little like sub module, I think. And then, yeah, that's going to turn on my LED. Ooh, look, I have LEDs. ESP breakouts. So there's two different brains on this board, which is kind of cool. It's got a ESP module and STM32, which I'm sure I would know more about, or should know more about, but I don't. Anyway, final assembly. Okay. Those must be, I'm going to bet those are the holes for, maybe not. These tough ones. Okay. So that is it. I have built the badge. That's the final result. I need to put the back and play back on, but I can do that on camera. But there's the final product. You're going to wear that. You're going to communicate with your Defcon Darknet buddies and go to parties and stuff. So it's all kinds of fun. Anyway, that's it. I look tired as shit on camera. Yeah, light's not helping, I'm sure, but it's probably not wrong. Okay, with that, I am done. Maybe I'll talk to everybody later. Bye.